Welcome, creative friends. Today, Jasmine got a surprise visit from her cousin Sniffy. He had some bad news. Rose is leaving and will not say where or when she will return. Jasmine was so distraught. She started crying. She's going to miss her sister Rose so much. But then Sniffy got a great idea. What if I took a photo with the two of you together? Oh, that made Jasmine so happy. Yay! Now let's start making that camera. To make the camera, I used the dollar store cubes. Now I gotta check it against Sniffy and see how much I need to cut off. I'm going to sand it from all sides, every corner, and try to make them all rounded. Of course, it was very hard, that small size. And I bought this, I think it's called a vise for crafting from Temu. It worked quite well, but I had to put foam between those yellow things because it made indentations in the wood. I was trying to make a groove with my hand file, but it was just too hard. So I went back to my vise, and here you see me where I put the foam, and I'm using my little hand Dremel. I made the groove, and now on this side I'm removing a little bit of the layer, like maybe 1 millimeter thick, just to make that other side a little bit higher. That's where I want to place the lens. Now I found a lot of beads. I have a lot because I make jewelry. So this is not a bead. This is something plastic, hard. I think it's used for hair extensions. Like you put the hair inside of them and then you connect them to the hair, and it has a little device that melts them and then they're stuck to your hair. I have black ones and I have white ones. I chose the white one, but later on I'm going to change my mind because I found a smaller one that would fit inside those rings better. I'm struggling to get it in there, but it won't. Now I'm going to make that small piece that's on top of the camera where you can stick an extra flash. I don't know what they call it, but I looked at many photos of similar types of cameras like the one I'm making, and they all have this little thing up there. Some of them I think are just for design. I don't know. Anyway, I cut that small piece, and I'm going to be cutting off the hard edges, and then I'm going to be sanding it. Believe me, sanding that small thing was not easy. I think I filed half of my nails off that day. Now I'm just checking to see if the size fits or it needs more adjusting. I think it looks okay. I'm trying to figure out which way is which. That's the right way to put it. Here I'm searching through my little box and I found this earring plug. You know, these silicone ones that have little ridges. There's so many kinds of them. I'll give you a close-up to see how it looks. Anyway, I'm going to cut it in half because it's too tall. I'm just going to use half of it. I hope you know what these are. So this is supposed to be the knob on the camera where you turn and switch, turn or whatever. And these little two oval rings, I think you can call them, I'm going to be using them to put the straps for the camera. And I'm still not happy with this white one, so I'm going to pick the black one. It's a little bit taller and a little bit thinner. And that turned out to be the perfect size for the camera. And these are little crimps. So I'm putting one just like it is. I'm not going to crimp it. And then the second one right behind it is a black one, and that one I'm going to crimp. I'm going to be using E6000 because I don't like using crazy glue a lot. Only when I'm really need this thing to dry quickly, but most of the time I like E6000. It gives me more time to manipulate and move things around until I'm 100% sure that that's where I want them. Oh, he likes it. He's approving. Well, thank you, Sniffy, for the approval. Alright, now I'm going to glue the crimp. And that little knob. And now I'm going to hammer these two rings until they're flat. One of them is golden colored and the other one is a silver one. And now that they're flat, of course, they disconnected a little bit. So I'm just gonna try to put them back like they were. Reconnect them, as they say. I was thinking of using that piece of sequins, but no, it just looks wrong. And now I glued all three together. You see, my bead fits perfectly in the middle. And I put the silver ring on the top and the golden one on the bottom, so you can see just a little bit, because I did cut them up later on and made just the tiniest opening so you can see the other one under it. Here's the second crimp. This one I crimped. I crimped the crimp. Okay, that's funny. Can you see from the side those two rings? Now, I already tried making one frame for the back of the camera, and that was a total failure. I'm not gonna show you. But this one, I figured out how to make it right. I took the wire and I made the square. If you don't have these pliers, you can use anything that's square. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something square in the house, but oops, I can't. And I'm using my flush cutters to cut right in the middle between the two that I folded next to each other to give me a nice fresh cut. And that way there's no spaces between the two sides. Magnetized, I wonder why. And now I'm gonna smack it. I flattened them out with the hammer, jewelry hammer, and I'm just trying to fix it a little bit. That's why I didn't show you, because the whole camera, the whole table, everything was shaking. And this is what it looks like after I banked the copper. I think it was a 24 gauge copper wire. Or maybe it was a 30. I'm not sure. And that's going to go right there in the back. If you really look closely, you can see the indentations from that vise. But I didn't really care because I knew that was going to get covered. So I painted the whole camera black, but I didn't touch the lens or the rings around it. I just liked it the way it was. And when I put glue and it started oozing out from the opening of that bead, it made it look just like a lens. So I didn't touch that either. Now I'm getting one of these ad magazines, and I'm going to take this little photo from a TV. I'm going to be adding some masking tape on it, and then I'm going to cut it out. And then I'm going to glue my frame on top of it. Of course, with my trusty E6000. Now I'm painting all the accessories and metal pieces on the camera silver. I used wax thread for the handles or the strap of the camera. And now I'm just painting that little ring. Here I'm going to be filling up that little square or rectangle with transparent nail polish. I'm going to be doing it, I think, like 3 times until I get that thick layer that makes it look like a screen. I have this placemat from the dollar store that has these thin skewers, and I compared them to the kitchen skewers, and they were much thinner, so I didn't want to use these. I needed something thin. If I could have found something thinner than that, I could have used it, but that was all I had. Now I'm just seeing how tall I want to cut it, or the height of Mr. Sniffy. So I cut 3 of them, and I cut some paper, just normal computer printer paper. And I'm rolling first the wider one, just a couple of rolls. I don't want it to be very thick, just so they'll show a difference in the thicknesses between the skewer and the paper. I want it to look like the tripod 3 sections. And after I did all 3, now I'm going to add the thinner one. Just make sure that you roll it tight. Now I'm sanding them. I want them to be pointy. And here I'm cutting them on a 45-degree angle, or try as much as possible. And then I'm gonna sand it a little bit. Here I'm using the very thin cardboard. I have a lasagna box, and the cardboard is quite sturdy but thin at the same time. I cut 2 small triangles and gluing them together, and that's going to be the top of the tripod. Now I'm just removing the edges or the corners. And I'm using wood glue here to glue it. And I held it for quite a while until my hands started to hurt. But after that one, I think it was like, I don't know, a minute and a half, 2 minutes, but it seemed much longer. Anyway, here I'm just dipping them in the glue. I'm trying to set the second one at an angle, and they just keep on falling, don't want to stay in their place and giving me a hard time. So Sniffy said, "Hey, I'll come and help you. Thank you." Now I'm going to cut a bigger triangle, and this one is going to go between the 3 legs of the tripod. And I'm cutting like half a circle with my hole punch. That's where I'm going to be positioning the tripod legs. And now I'm going to be drilling a hole in the middle. I'm going to place another skewer in the middle, just for support and balance. This is just a dry fit to see if everything's okay. Now I didn't wait for the glue to dry 100%. I needed it to be a little bit flexible so I can manipulate the tripod legs and push them here and there to get the right size. And now I'm just gonna be leveling it, checking if it's level from all sides. And I'm going to cut just a small piece from this skewer. I'm gonna sand it on both sides, making sure that it's flat. And I'm gonna glue that on the very top of the tripod. Come on, stay there. Now I have these furniture staples, and they're gonna work great as a handle. So I'm just snipping it off with my flush cutters. I'm snipping it in half and taking one of the parts. And I'm dipping it this time in crazy glue, because nothing is gonna stick to this metal except crazy glue. And I'm not gonna wait for my E6000 to dry. And now I'm going to attach a metal bead right to the handle, also with crazy glue. And now I'm covering the whole thing with wood glue. After it all dried, I'm inserting the smaller skewer in the middle, cutting it to size, and putting some glue, just a little bit, placing it where it's supposed to be and trying to put it in the middle. Come on. Yep. And now I'm going to secure it with some glue on the bottom. After everything dried, it's gonna be painted all in black except the handle. And after that, I put 3 layers of clear nail polish. Sniffy can't wait, but I'm not done yet. Come on, he wants to take a photo. He's so excited, like, come on, finish, Cara, quickly. Well, one more thing. I need a magnet. Now, I got these tiny magnets from Temu, and boy, are they strong. Like, I can't even pick them up. That's how strong they are. I'm gonna be using this one. And first I thought I'll just put it on and it sticks to that small metal handle, but it doesn't stay in the middle. So I figured, okay, I should put a small metal ring, glue it onto that little piece of wood that I made, and that should hold it in place. Oop. You see, because my tweezers are metal, I can't even handle the damn thing. But, lucky for me, I have ceramic ones. Now give me the camera. Come on, let go. Now I'm gonna put the bigger ring on and glue it on the bottom of the camera. Now after, nope, it still goes sideways. It doesn't want to stick. Now it's even worse. So, what am I gonna do? Let's try putting the camera on top of it and see what happens. Yeah, it just keeps on going to the sides. Well, back to the crazy glue. I'm going to glue the magnet right on top of it. I give up. I tried, but you're gonna get glued. I have some crazy glue there that you can't see. And stay in your place. Even while I'm holding it, it just wants to slip. In the end, I won. It didn't. And now, Sniffy is ready to take the photo. Say cheese! If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and please leave a comment. That helps me out a lot. Now don't leave yet. There's a nice surprise coming. Wait for it.